What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Busi and him speaking on D Wade and his transitioning son. Okay. Now, Busi made this video where he was calling him out and basically saying, don't cut off his dizzick. Don't turn him into a girl. Don't call him Zaya. That's a boy. That's a boy, Damon. That's a boy, D Wade. But Busi was upset, almost like he was confused, outraged, and I really hope that Busi doesn't bend the knee. I really hope Busi stick to what he is saying, because we are all saying the same thing. Well, at least the people in their right mind. Now, you got the people who are going to agree with what D Wade is doing because they are obviously mentally mixed up. But Busi made a very good point. Like, what if your son grows up and realizes he doesn't want to be a girl anymore? He wants to date girls. He's interested in girls. If he wants to date guys, then okay, but don't make him into a girl. And I think that is where Busi is coming from. Busi is like, why, go through all this? Why are you calling him a female name? Like, why are you saying, calling her she? Like, what's with that? If your son, it's still your son. If he likes the same gender, then okay, but don't cut his dizzick off. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think a lot of people are thinking this. And the one thing I don't understand, and I actually did commentary on D Wade and Gabrielle Union promoting this. Y'all go and check the video out. It'll be linked inside the description. I don't understand the celebrating of your 12-year-old quote unquote coming out. It's almost as if he's looking for a pat on the back by the minority, the vocal minority on social media. Because what has happened now is that a lot of celebrities are trying to kowtow to Twitter, to these SJWs on social media by doing things like this. And I said this before, what D Wade doesn't understand is that if you do something that they don't like, they're going to turn on you. That's what he doesn't understand. Look at Malik Yoba. He wanted to come and speak out against what he felt like people just tearing down trans people. So he wanted to speak for them and be a puppet, but that ended up blowing up. Now you don't hear much of anything from him on that front. Maybe, but not as much as you did before, because he, they got upset with him. Same with some of these other people. Look at Taylor Swift. She thought she was doing something by promoting the alphabet community in a way, and then they still were angry with her. Nothing you do will be good enough because you're dealing with people, not all, but you're dealing with the vocal minority who have mental issues. Okay, they come to social media to vent. They're not looking for bright spots. They're not looking for to be happy, to be hopeful. In their life, they're not hopeful. They don't want anybody else to be hopeful. So what do you seek to gain when you get on social media and bend the knee? When you kowtow, when you capitulate, when you seek to use your own child to promote an ideology that you don't even live? Or maybe, and this has been said before, maybe you're living vicariously through your 12-year-old, which is what some people have speculated, but I'm not going to put nothing out here unless I have proof. But that could be something that's going on with D Wade. Now, I did a live stream and I said, things changed once he got serious with Gabrielle Union. And some people took issue with that. They don't think that Gabrielle Union had anything to do with the ideology shift in that family. Well, let me tell you this. When D Wade was off playing basketball, who was raising those boys? Oh, it was Gabby. And I think the two older ones, because they were a little bit older, they didn't necessarily need mothering. They already had a mother. But the youngest one needed nurturing, needed someone there to connect with, and did connect with Gabby in doing girl stuff. I truly believe. It's no different when you have young boys who grow up in, majority women households. When they're around their mothers and their aunts, they may grow up a bit more effeminate. And this to me seems to be the case with young Zion. But he's 12. He could still end up growing out of this phase, But D Wade, because he wants a pat on the back from the alphabet community, he's going to go along with it and he's going to promote it. You should never have to go telling your family business on Ellen DeGeneres or any other shows, because it has nothing to do with her, nothing to do with, the public. But you're making it public because you want kudos, you want thanks, you want praise. And that's sad that we are in a society where you have celebrities who still want clout and attention, pats on the back. It's just like rich millionaires and billionaires that give money to certain foundations and organizations in order to ease their guilt of working their ass off to get to where they are. Now, if they grew up in wealth and they didn't work for it, they want to give it away. That's what they choose to do. But never feel guilty for who you are. Never feel guilty for being a man. Never feel guilty for embracing your masculinity. And I think that's where Busi, because Boosie's from a different time. When he growing up, you didn't see a lot of this, his area of the country didn't really see a lot of this. So you have guys who, yes, they have fame, they have money, but they're still going to speak out on certain things. But I will say this, I hope he sticks to his guns. He doesn't pull a Snoop or some of these other guys who they make a statement and then they apologize for it. There's really nothing to apologize in this particular situation. He's being honest. We as men should embrace honesty. When I'm honest, I get a lot of people in their feelings and in their emotions because I don't hold back. I'm not timid. I understand the human mindset. I understand that if you're very honest with people, you're going to expose how weak-minded they are. And when you speak against things like this, you're going to expose how weak-minded people are and how they don't want you to disagree with them. I think it's a good thing when you do have male celebrities who aren't totally compromised to the point to where they just go along just to get through. That they're willing to stop and say, hey, I got sons. Why would I agree with this? Why would I agree with this type of ideology? I'm raising young men. I don't want them to think this and live their life like this. So that's why you may see Busi speaking out about this. Now, what's very interesting, man, is very sad. When you had Snoop speak out against Gayle, right? Pictures surfaced of his son dressing a little bit effeminate. I think he had eyeliner on. They're saying he was wearing a dress or things of that nature. That he was dressing very effeminate, looking very effeminate, because he is a model, quote unquote. And people are people are weaponizing that against Snoop. I don't agree with that. Weaponizing that, but that's what happens. That's what happens when you speak out they're going to use what's going on in your household against you. Even though his son is an adult, his son makes his own decision. You know, that really doesn't have anything to do with Snoop. It doesn't mean he was a bad father. It just mean his son, as an adult, made a choice. D-Wade's 12-year-old is not an adult yet. So he should be able to put his foot down and say, there's certain things I'm not going to go for. I don't care about getting praise from the alphabet community or these people on social media who just want to wreak havoc. They don't want to be happy. They don't want to see any changes. They just want to make everybody miserable. Look at the Hollywood films that come out and look at how people will praise these movies that have a bunch of feminism, all female movies where they're just going, they're just downing men. They claim to support those movies, but they don't go and watch those movies. But because they feel like it's gonna get under the skin of men and of the fans of the actual film franchise or comic books that go along with it, but they don't put their money where their big mouths are. You're preaching to the vocal minority that don't have no money to support you. All they do is get on Twitter and complain, retweet, share posts in order to win some sort of argument, to be relevant. But they're only relevant on social media. They're not relevant in real life. They don't have these strong opinions outside of social media. They get on social media and they want to bully people who do not feel the same way that they do. And that's why it's refreshing to hear Busi say what he is saying. But those are just my thoughts.